Hey, what's going on, guys? Victor Chambers here, New Jersey real estate agent, back with another video. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. On this channel, I bring you tips, strategies, and advice to empower you on your real estate journey. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload brand new content. So everyone knows that it's been a crazy market over the last 18 or so months, and myself, having worked with tons of buyers, I'm commonly and on a weekly basis encountering situations where I'm submitting offers on homes for clients. Now, again, it's a crazy market. Homes are selling over asking price with multiple offers, and commonly some of the communications I'll receive working with buyers from listing agents are offer guidelines. So these offer guidelines are commonly used in highest and best multiple offer situations to provide us as buyer's agents with guidelines on what our offers should include that we submit for our clients. And so in this video, I want to bring you behind the scenes a bit to look at an example of what those offer guidelines look like, so you can understand as a buyer or as a consumer some of the things that sellers are looking for, listing agents are looking for with regard to the offers we submit. So let's jump into our screen share and we'll walk through it. So this is actually something I received this weekend from a property I showed to one of my clients, and it typically comes in the form of an email. And if you see here, thank you for sending your clients through the property address based on the level of showings and the level of interest. They're providing these guidelines. It says there will be one round of offers due on this date by this time. So this is a multiple offer, highest and best offer situation. So let's just walk through these point by point, and I'll provide some detail and context on what each of these things mean. So sellers are Joe and Jane Smith. These are obviously fictional names, and I've fictionalized some of this for the purposes of this video. So they're telling you explicitly who the sellers are. Sometimes the sellers are LLC or a corporation, and then sometimes it's an estate. It could be a probate property, for example. In this case, it's Joe and Jane Smith, just as an example. Their preferred closing date is 45 to 60 days. Very doable, especially in this market. I'm seeing lenders even close within 30 days, but 45 to 60 days is pretty normal and pretty typical in this market. Proof of funds must be attached if it's an all cash offer, and for down payment. So if the offers are cash, they want proof of funds, liquid assets, to show that the buyer actually has those funds. So that could be a bank statement, screenshots of an online banking account, and same thing for down payment. So specifically in the case of conventional and even non-conventional buyers, where they're putting money down, which most buyers are and have to these days, they want to see that the buyer actually has the funds for their down payment. So for example, if the house is $500,000 and the buyer's putting 20% down, that's $100,000. Although only part of that money will be put down as a down payment or as a deposit during the contract period prior to closing, they want to see that the buyer actually has those funds readily available. So show proof of funds for that. Pre-approval must be attached if your client is getting a mortgage. That's obviously a no-brainer. All time periods must be shortened as much as possible. So this is not like time of the essence language necessarily, which attorneys tend to play with, in the contract during attorney review. But they obviously want this process to be as expedited as possible. So if a buyer has a property to sell, that could create some conflict. But in this case, obviously, the seller wants this to be as smooth and as efficient of a transaction as possible. Mortgage commitment due in 30 days or less. That's typically what I do in my contracts. For buyers, I say mortgage commitment will be provided within 30 days. All inspections must be completed within 5 days of attorney review. That's probably should say completion of attorney review. Contractually, I think 10 days is the default, but they want it done relatively soon. As soon as in my case, I get an accepted offer from my buyers, I'm lining up the inspection date to occur as soon after attorney review as possible, because obviously anything could happen, things could change. We had storms recently and things like that. So you want to have your inspections done as soon as possible, and you want to know what the issues are as soon as possible as well. Okay. Deposit money's due 5 days after end of attorney review or sooner. I think in the contract by default it's 10 days. So obviously they want to move things along. That's what they're communicating here. Signed seller's property disclosure and lead-based paint disclosure included with the offer. These are available in the MLS. That's all standard stuff. As a buyer, I want my seller to sign the seller's disclosure to see and review all the issues that the seller has disclosed regarding the property, and the lead-based paint disclosure obviously as well is required. No escalation clauses are accepted. So because they're doing one round of highest and best offers, they don't want escalation clauses. And escalation clauses essentially are sometimes, not often, included with contracts to give buyers the opportunity to increase their offer amount if there are other offers that are beating them. But if everyone submits escalation clauses, then at no point, it's going to be hard to kind of get to the bottom of what offer should be accepted. But no escalation clauses, that will help keep things very clean. The next thing is fireplace chimney and flues are in as-is condition. Those sellers have no knowledge of any defects. That's pretty common as well. Fireplaces and chimneys can be problematic, especially, for example, if they don't have liners or they're not regularly used and they're not inspected and taken care of. Sellers don't want to spend the money to fix them, and so they just say as is condition. Fixing chimneys and fireplaces can be on the order of thousands of dollars to address. That's something that sellers in this market typically don't want to deal with, but they obviously say that there are no known defects. Driveway in as-is condition, that's kind of a no-brainer. No one wants to go and repave a driveway if they don't need to. And then this is another big one. Please limit inspections to major structural, environmental, and safety issues only. Sometimes this is very common language in this market. You'll see major structural, environmental, safety, plumbing, mechanical issues typically come up. And it's typically what the underlying thought is that the sellers don't want buyers to nitpick them for small items or to be frivolous and petty with regard to what they ask for. Now, that doesn't mean that your home inspection should be exhaustive. It should definitely be exhaustive, but they're just saying they want to limit requests to major structural, environmental, and safety issues only. All right. And then here, lastly, please provide the name and contact information for the buyer's attorney. And this basically says that obviously your buyer, and as a buyer's agent, I have a couple of attorneys that I recommend my clients use, but they want to make sure your buyer has an attorney lined up, ready to go, so that they can start the attorney review process shortly after the offer is accepted. So they want you to actually provide that information. Sometimes as well, sellers' attorneys want to get ahead and write that first letter of attorney review as well. So them having that information kind of helps them, initiate that process as well. So this is just an example of offer guidelines that you'll find, that we'll find as agents, buyers agents, that we receive from listing agents, commonly in highest and best multiple offer situations. The goal for me as an agent when I'm working with buyers is to really set expectations and prepare them for all of this from day one, from the first time I actually show them properties, so that no matter how many properties I've shown them, I already set their expectations for what to expect when we get to the point of submitting an offer, and so that they know that these are some of the things that listing agents and sellers are looking for, that if you follow these things, that's the first step and most important step in actually getting an offer accepted. So I hope this was helpful in providing you some insight and some behind the scenes on some of the communication that we get from sellers and from listing agents with regard to submitting offers. Again, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. But again, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload brand new videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.